And we're live. It is the Kent Beck Scrum with Alex and Oleg and Sam. And we're going to start with our Scrum, and then we're going to get into a Redeemify coordination meeting, or kickoff, as we sometimes call them. Just to give you updates from me, I've just been working on consolidating. We have a premium Agile Ventures Slack, but I think people have generally been telling me that having two Slacks is a bit confusing. And so I'm just importing all of the premium channels into the main Agile Ventures Slack. And hopefully that will work. We will see. It looks like it has worked. So that's good. I am been struggling with Semaphore continuous integration for website 1 today. There's kind of been some weird things there. Hopefully that is fixed now. There's just been some weird failures. At least one thing has passed. So we're getting there. There was some sort of change we had to make to the CI to get that to work. Other big thing, we managed to get Agile Ventures completely onto SSL. So the whole site is properly secured now, which is very pleasing. Yeah, and this is still, but I'm still kind of behind working through website 1 and local support project stuff. So lots to do there. Yeah, but that's my update. Alex, how are things going with you?
Sam, I've updated the pull request today. I've reworked one method that you pointed out, set vendor code.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's better now.
Mm-hmm.
I've updated some templates and add before action filters to prevent manual constructing requests. So that it will redirect to the main page when the access is unpermitted.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think will be good to integrate code climate.
Yes.
So
Great.
It's your.
Yeah.
Can you integrate it?
Yes. Well, we can look.
We can have permission to do it.
Yeah, we can look at that. We can look at that today. Yeah. So code climate, the CI, the latest update. Anything else on your mind? Any other kind of blocks or important things
About integration?
About anything about for the whole Redeemify project, or for you personally?
Yes, I will be glad to revise the migrations.
Okay.
Revise schema.
Okay. Sure. Sounds good. Thanks, Alex. Let's go. Oleg, how are things going with you?
Well, I'm doing fine. Actually, I've been doing reviews of the pull request that Alex submitted, and I haven't actually done much in terms of coding.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I think, but maybe there are some changes needed in terms of the updating the JavaScript. Maybe. Actually, I've noticed that some JavaScript code has been removed in the latest pull request. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. I would say perhaps to make the code less obtrusive, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
To care a little bit about graceful degradation in case the browsers do not support JavaScript. So that could be one of the possible development for the project. Yeah, actually, I'm not very much familiar with the entire code base, meaning I still need to understand certain things. It's just that it's personal for me because I joined this project maybe when it was already, but it had passed already maybe 2 years. So I would say perhaps I would need to look into some modules like admin section perhaps. Yeah. So that's about my my feeling briefly. Yeah.
Great. Yep. Okay.
Sam,
well, go on, Alex. Go on.
Yes, Sam. We we have started, as Oleg mentioned, JavaScript additions to the templates, and one of the collaborator was added dialog polyfill.js file to be able create model window, but according to Code Climate, it has a lot of errors. 46 errors in these files. So we can remove it entirely, or we can edit, exclude it from Code Climate checking to reduce the number of issues according to Code Climate. So it's internal file, external file, and also I want to get feedback from stakeholders, from you, or maybe from Armando, about the intentions, how to use app in some aspects. For example, do they plan some business perspectives or not?
Sure, absolutely. Well, I think we can cover all of those things. I've just made notes of like sort of 4 things that we can touch on now. So Code Climate, there's a JavaScript that and then relates to that as well. Continuous integration and feedback from stakeholders. I guess there's also input on PRs. So having gone round now and got, we've done our Scrum, I think we can probably spend some time now. I've got a bit of time kind of looking through these issues and try and, make sure that we get unblocked so that the project can move forward on all of these things. So yeah, does that sound like, I'll show my screen.
I would say that should be a good idea.
Yeah, this is, I'm just making a list here of the things that we should cover to try and get us moving forward. Yeah, does that cover those 5 things? Is that covering everything we're concerned about? Oops, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. So yeah. So
one more thing. Sorry,
oh,
I just
go on.
Just that I remember that Armando requested to integrate the possibility of generating the vendor codes, not just uploading, but just for the sake of avoiding any possible errors. Perhaps it's better for the vendors to generate. And he also, I remember, provided some code regarding how that should be implemented.
Okay.
I haven't yet looked through it in detail, but I remember that some piece of that, there was some conversation between.
Sure. I mean, I think we can probably look at that in part of. I mean, the project. Obviously, we've gone through a transition period, and we need to connect the pieces up with the stakeholders, with the different things that are in play. So I think also what we will need to do as well is look at the project management board, like the pivotal tracker and so on, and kind of get things back on control. I'll just pop that to one side. I guess I was just, because I'm hoping that it's not, that it might be I can just sort of do it while we're focused. I might start with the Code Climate stuff, because I think it may just be a permissions issue. So at the moment on the pull requests, we are getting, let's just look at what checks we are getting done there. It's just doing the single check of, right. So the continuous integration is there. The tests are being run when we get a pull request. I'll just add a note to myself here outside. But so, yeah, I think if I can just go to, there's a problem with, the Slack notifications pop up often in the place that I want to open a new tab. It's here we go, Code Climate, like so. And if I log in there, I just log in with GitHub, and let's do. Oh gosh, it's funny. I don't mind that my bank has two-factor authentication, or that my credit card things, but Code Climate, like, it's just, I mean, it just seems kind of slightly overkill. Do you know what I mean? Is that?
Yes.
It's like, God forbid that someone else was able to like determine, the quality of my code, or adjust the quality by which it's measured. I don't know what that's about. Okay, is that? Goodness me. Hopefully that works. And that's the. Whew, Thank God that the code climate is safe and secure. So now here, if I want to I want to basically add a repo in here, I think. We've got open source, add a repository, there we go. So GitHub repo name. There we go, import repo from GitHub. Okay, there we go. That's not a bad GPA actually compared to, well, particularly we've got problems on website 1. So hopefully, now obviously there's other things that then we want to set up so that it gets automatically imported into the pull request on Redeemify. I'm not, like, off the bat, I'm not sure, will that kind of, use settings. If we go back to here, I don't know about new pull requests. I guess there's, let's have a look, just look, code, climate, GitHub, PR integration, docs, code, climate, pull requests, pull requests, okay, pull requests, yes. Integration. All right, so go to, we just need to go to the settings repo, select the integrations tab. No, okay. So settings. I think it will. They won't. Is it add service code climate? There we go. Yeah, they won't show up until it's on new ones. But yeah, we'll just do this. Add code climate. Okay, and we need. Okay, we're gonna go get the target. So browse to your code climate dashboard. I guess as a recording, I'll just do that on a different screen. I think it should tell me. Click the organization in the top, and then I've got this next thing here. Gosh, what is it? It's telling me. Oh, we can put the instructions on there. Here's the instructions. It's browse to your code climate dashboard. Click organization in the top right corner of the page. If this link isn't visible, that is the open source. We don't support service hooks for these repositories. So I wonder if for the service hook, I'm going to need to add an organization. Like we'd have to have the I guess all of the code climate service hooks that we have currently set up are they're for projects that are hosted within Agile Ventures, rather than projects that are hosted, like this is hosted in Strawberry Canyon. So I might have to come on to Armando to do something there. All right, well, that's an action item for me. I'll just put onto this list here. Action item, check with Armando about Strawberry Canyon, what is it called? Code climate integration. I can't see, I've got, see in my code climate, I've got Agile Ventures as a organization there. And I've got then separate open source repositories, and yeah, okay. So anyway, the link there that I pasted before, at least you should be able to look at the. I guess you already have access to this, right? You can already see these things. You were mentioning them before. I guess what you're really looking for is the integration on the pull request. Is that right, Alex?
Sam, can you repeat?
Sorry. Yeah. So you can already see the code climate outputs for.
Yes, I've integrated.
Yeah, go on.
With my local repo.
Right. But so we want the main thing we want is for the code climate to comment. Like, so for example, at the moment, you know, in our Agile Ventures projects, on a pull request, we have like code climate shows the issues in the pull request.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah, and so we want this for Redeemify, right?
Right.
Yeah, so that's the action item for me, is to make sure we can get that to work and be integrated.
Okay.
Okay, so that's that. Let's I sort of hoped we might be able to do it there, but it's taken obviously a bit too long. So if we, so for in the pivotal tracker, so we've got, no, let's go to, so we've got a projects board for Redeemify. I think I'm a member of it. Are you which you're working against this Redeemify project? Is this one?
It wasn't updated for a long time.
Recently, okay. But we've got this. We'll need to update that. Oh, absolutely. Okay, so
yeah, actually, some issues have been resolved, I think.
Okay, so well, I would say that's an action item for all of us to try and update the project board about what's going on there. Now, so we've got several other things there. There's, I mean, that's sort of the two of them. So like, I've got to work on getting the code climate working. We need to update the board so that it's accurate. Oleg, you were talking about sort of JavaScript issues. There was, Alex, you were talking about, you know, a file being excluded or included in code climate. Let's just put that, let me pop that to the end for the moment, if that's all right. The continuous integration at the moment is okay. I thought you'd been asking Alex for me to add CI, but the Travis CI is okay at the moment? It's good?
Yes. Okay,
all right. So that's that doesn't need to be done. So I would say that for all of the other things, yeah, like the feedback from the stakeholders is the most important. Do we have like a version of the app running on Heroku at the moment, right?
I'm not sure. It was Matt's privilege.
Right, and I asked him to transfer those to me. I think for me to comment on any of the, you know, things, I need to get a picture in my mind of how the app is sort of running at the moment. So we've got like, so this is the Redeemify production app that I have access to. I guess you are, which is, it looks like it's not working. I guess at the moment, you're just running the application locally and making changes and checking how it runs locally. Is that right?
Yes.
So for if we look at the, we lost it now. Yeah. Let me go back to. So at the moment, the contents of this master branch, you know, we merged one pull request before. This master branch is not deployed anywhere at the moment?
You're right.
It's not deployed anywhere at the moment. Okay. Not deployed. Do you want to show me, Alex, maybe just the operation of, like, maybe you have the master branch locally on your machine now? Do you want to just show me what the current app looks like?
Yes, I can. Do you see my screen?
I do, yes.
Is it a comfortable font size?
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you see
yes, I do.
the main page?
Yes, I do. Excellent.
here is I'm signed in as a user. I can enter Redeemify code. And this is the offer page. Now I can sign in as a vendor. One minute.
Did you have to restart the server to sign in as a vendor?
I've update done schema update seeds RB.
Okay. You added some more.
Yes, as a vendor.
Okay. Like that's a statistics page for the vendor to see what
we can upload new codes.
Okay. Yes. No, I mean the interface is looking nice and clean, and yeah, lots of great stuff going on. Yes.
Now we can submit codes. And we can view codes. We can update profile page.
Sure. Great.
And so on. Submit. We can download codes as a file.
Right.
And we can remove unclaimed codes.
Oh, okay.
Also, we can see comments when we upload codes and
the history.
When we remove codes. Yes.
Yeah.
The same interface for the provider, except profile page.
Right.
We can also do some other stuff. For example, we can switch to user account.
Right.
We can put history.
Yeah. Oh, there's lots there, and you guys have been doing great work. Yeah, and I guess the thing, of course, for Agile Ventures is what we really want to do is not just be coding on a toy thing, is connect it with meeting user needs, and yeah, we need to kind of link that up. Obviously, Armando's availability makes that somewhat challenging sometimes. Yes. And I mean, the interesting thing for us in Agile Ventures is at the moment, the number of people who kind of need codes and the turnover is so low that it almost doesn't justify, a management framework for it. It clearly makes more sense in a situation like with the textbook for Armando, that if you're trying to distribute all these codes to lots of people who are buying the textbook, and there's hundreds and thousands of people buying the textbook, that it makes sense. So we need to kind of connect this back up to Armando. The thing that I think that is probably the priority, more than any particular changes to the code, is doing something called user story mapping, and getting that, signed off by Armando and so on. Are you guys familiar with user story mapping?
Yeah, well, removing the flat backlog and making it, so to say, three-dimensional, just two-dimensional. Just laying out the stories as the time goes, and filling out the details, perhaps.
Yeah.
Just decomposing some user stories into scenarios, and just making some hierarchy, and
Yes.
prioritization, something like that, and that should be viewable in time. Something like that.
Yes, yes. The and you can remap the backlog on that. I mean, I think almost, and this maybe reflects just my lack of understanding of the system, but yeah, I guess what I would sort of what you've just showed me there, Alex. What it would be nice to do is to see some kind of diagrams of the sequence of user experience. So I'm just trying to find a best. Actually, if I go user story mapping, we've got images.
I understand. I think it will be very, very useful.
Yeah, yeah.
I also plan to do something like that.
Yeah, and I think probably maybe what we want to do. I mean, don't worry about organizing the backlog or the this, that, and the other. I think we need to be able to see the paths that the different kinds of users can take through the system and sort of connect that up and confirm with Armando that this is what he's expecting, and yeah, move forward from there. So, but well, yeah, if you guys are comfortable making some user stories, it doesn't have to be this full two-dimensional map. I'm just thinking of, I guess, if we go for a user story here, can you show me the good example? I don't know. It's not the right kind of images, really. But actually the best one. We're doing this agile podcast thing, and the book club. This one. Here we go. Actually, they have this kind of image, right? So just so we can see a sequence of, what the user does. So it would go from, logging into the site to, getting the code. Oh, yes, I've got my Amazon credits or what have you. But, one of these for each of the kind of, for the end user, for the vendor, for the producer, for the different things, and get that all so that we're all on the same page about what those are. Does that sound like a good idea?
Yes, it's a very good idea.
Yeah.
And I think I can do it.
Excellent, excellent. Well, let's yeah, Alex, you're going to take the lead on that, and you can do that either just sort of drawing, or if you want to take screenshots from the existing app, that's great too. So create user story map, or I just call it user story storyboard. I sort of call them storyboards. That's what I like when I see this, the sequence of like from here to here. I sort of call it a storyboard. Okay. So we come down into, so then we've got this question of the input on PRs. You saying you updated that PR, Alex. I can check that code again. What always worries me somewhat is if we're making lots of changes without a clear direction from the client about where things should go. Like it's obviously there are general refactorings that can be done, but I think often whether the refactorings are good or not can depend upon how the code needs to evolve to meet the client needs. So if we don't have a client needs clearly defined, or the next steps clearly defined, then it's difficult to assess if they're, so like I think we need to work out the plan. And if you get me these the user storyboard things, I can move towards a situation with Armando of saying like, right, are we going to start using this for the textbook? And what is it that we need for it to start being used with the textbook? And then we can prioritize the work on those things. Does that make sense?
Yes, I absolutely agree. But okay. Sounds good.
Yeah. So then, I mean, I guess the other thing, I mean, I sort of, at the risk of irritating you, what I would caution in pull requests is, like, I think the bigger the pull request, for me and other projects, and as a project manager, the bigger the pull request, the more files in the pull request, the more difficult it is to give, good feedback, I think. And in my other projects, I tend to, if I for example here, I encourage people to submit very small pull requests. So you see here, like, for example, this one, you know, it's only kind of 8 files. And I know, you know, some people prefer to do bigger pull requests. I guess if you want to increase the chances of me giving you more feedback, then the smaller the pull request, maybe the bigger feedback you'll get from me, if that's anything of an incentive. But
maybe it should be split, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, see, it's you know, I can still review. I just is there a reason why you want to do all these things in one pull request instead of 3 or 4?
The reason is one. This project wasn't managed for a long time, and they were accumulated in one big pull request.
Right. But you mean that all the changes are related, or just that there's a lot of fixes that are needed?
Yes, they are quite they're interrelated. So
they're interrelated.
I have updated templates, HTML and CSS, and a little bit and tests, and I've improved test coverage.
Great.
Yeah, but you also fixed some issues along the road. So perhaps those issues maybe should have been taken out into a separate pull request. Just to keep the logic clean, so to say.
Well, and then it's an interesting thing. It's funny, isn't it? Because like you're working through a code base, and you're working on, say, improving, you know, the test coverage, and then you notice, oh, there's this and the other things, and you kind of want to change it, and you know, that I think it's a question of style, and it's not right or wrong. You know, like, there's a thing of maybe when you see a problem, you should fix it because you've noticed it. The thing to think about is from the perspective of the people who will review your code, I think, is that at least, and some, maybe, I don't know, some project managers, they want to see big changes and they don't want to be bothered by lots of little pull requests. But me personally, I would rather have lots of little pull requests where I've got like a small thing and I can say, oh, I'm just going to, but let's see going forward. It's just something, you know, and each project from the people, we can choose together our style. So it's not a law, it's not a rule, but let's keep talking and seeing what style we evolve together. Because I think that's also part of the agile. So the agile thing to me is, you know, partly it's about getting the stakeholder input from the client. It's also for the team to work out what works well for the team. You know, and each team is different. So, you know, we work out what's going to work well for us, which might be different from another team. So that's good.
Personally, for a small pull request, as you mentioned, as you state. So I absolutely agree with your objection. But, I don't know what we will do with these pull requests. So well, the next is small, of course.
Great. Yeah. So we can. Yeah. We'll work with this one that we've got. That's great. And then move towards maybe smaller ones in the future. That sounds good. So in the, I mean, I'll try and have another look at the latest changes on there. What was there? Well, I think we've covered some of the important things, and we've got some action items for all of us. Is there some other things that we need to fix or sort out now that we can't sort out, that will be difficult to sort out in Slack or next week?
I think we have discussed all the main points for now. The main question for me is this pull request. Should I improve something, or I can delete it and make a smaller pull requests? But it's already reviewed pretty well by you and Oleg. So I think it can be merged, but if you have any objections.
Oh, well, I guess the only thing, I think you said you made some more, since the comments, you added some new, there's a new commit. So just, I didn't have a chance yet to look at the new changes. So it would be, I would love to just see, and maybe also what I often do when I'm reviewing pull requests is I try and run the branch on my local machine. So I might try and, you know, just run it and play with it. You know, I think that's helpful for me. And usually I do that before I merge it. If you need to merge it for some reason, if there's a rush to do it, then you know, I guess it can be merged. But probably what I would you know, say give us time to check the latest changes that we didn't look at yet, and you know, have it. I also that I would like to see, you know, in the ideal world for me, I'm a bit nervous about. Sorry, I'll start again. That we don't have an instance running on Heroku, so I kind of like to you know, be able to make sure we have an instance that's running. The danger of, you know, a big pull request where we don't have a continuous deployment set up is that maybe, as an accidental, there's some change that makes it difficult to deploy on Heroku. So I mean, one way, if you want to move forward fast, is you could try deploying this branch to Heroku, and then that helps reassure us that, oh yeah, this all still will work in a production environment. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. So that's something to, if you want to move faster there. Otherwise, leave it with me, and I will try and you know, move towards, you know, getting some kind of pipeline set up for production staging and so on. Like, I think if we're gonna, you know, we want to move forward, we need to have a operational system that Armando can interact with and, you know, move us forward. I'm going to add that to my list here of, you know, no, it's gone. Here we go. Also from me. So Sam, get production Heroku working and start on making pipeline. Yeah?
Yes.
Cool. Great. So is that, if we're good for today, then, you know, and we carry on, we'll do this each Tuesday and check in, obviously, and we can talk in Slack beforehand. And my apologies if it goes slowly, because I am running several projects as well. So, but just feel free to ask, and we will, you know, try and move this forward so that you're getting value from this, and this, you know, ultimately we can connect with Armando, the stakeholder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Great. All right. Great to see you guys. Really glad to be able to coordinate there. I'll post all these notes into Slack, and I'll see you again real soon.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right. Bye for now.
It was nice talk. Okay. Bye.
Bye.